Alright guys, splits are something I do almost every day. Like every time I train handstand, I warm up with a middle split, and today I'm gonna watch as an expert to how I learn splits in 30 days.
Okay, today you're gonna see how I got my splits from this to this in just 1 month of stretching. So,
That's a big progress.
here goes nothing. I've never really been that flexible, but I've always wanted the ability to just drop into a split out of nowhere. Like this. Bang!
That's definitely unhealthy, and also this split is much easier than the middle split. And here it's all wrong. Like with the shoes, you want to have something slidey, so socks are much better than these shoes.
So, I did some big brain research and came up with a routine that would help me unlock my full middle split potential. Alright, first things first, you gotta warm up. For me, I just chose front to back and side to side leg swings. After that, I stood for 2 minutes in the horse stance, stretched both my hamstrings for 2 minutes each, and lastly, I spent 2 minutes on each of my hip flexors. After all that, I rolled out my thighs for 1 to 2 minutes and just jumped right into it. Not
General good exercises, but I don't do these foam rolls on the black roll. I just don't do it.
like literally jump though, I didn't want to tear something right from the start.
Yeah, it's good to have
The
some
first couple
routine.
days were
Every day 10 minutes is nice.
honestly kind of rough. I wasn't really getting down very far and my legs were hella sore after stretching every day. So I used my big brain and figured out that my legs were going through something called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Honestly, I probably should have expected something like this to happen, given that I hadn't worked out for a year prior to starting this challenge. But come on, we're in the middle of a
World event.
so give me a break. Anyway, I made it through the first few days and eventually the DOMS was gone. Such a stupid joke. I actually wrote that. If you're just starting out your split,
In this position, I also like to lean my hip a little bit back. So when I fall, I have the feeling of falling to my butt. And this way I can feel it's much easier and safer to open myself.
I would definitely recommend using something to support yourself down in the split position. For me, I just found some old yoga blocks that worked fine.
Good tools.
Around day 8, I finally started to see some real progress.
Damn, boy!
It was still really uncomfortable, but I was just happy to see some actual results. For the next couple days, I just kept up with my stretching, but eventually I hit a plateau where my hips started to hurt and my legs wouldn't go down any deeper. Okay, quick anatomy lesson. This is what your pelvis looks like. During a middle split, you're eventually going to reach a point where your femur and your pelvic bones start rubbing up against each other. And that is no good.
Yes.
But there is an easy fix for this. Before your hips start tightening, you should push your butt back and drop your hips down and
Yes.
forward.
This is what I meant by pushing the butt back.
This is going to cause your pelvic bone to rotate forward and give you enough room to keep stretching further. See? Easy peasy.
So you can easily think of it like your hip structure. You want to be in an arch position like this a little bit. So, yes.
Alright, so next I needed to break through that plateau. After some more big brain research, I found out that I had to apply something called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, or PNF for short. So basically, up until this point, I've just been stretching as far as my legs could go. But after learning about PNF, I started to flex my legs at the bottom of my split, and I imagined pushing my legs through the floor. So at this
Yeah, it's basically 10 times under tension. So you can imagine you have 10 times 10 seconds under tension, and then relax into the position, try to go deeper, and then you have again 10 times under tension. And if you can relax, you also do go relax 10 seconds, and this kind of way you push yourself a little deeper by deeper. And it's also nice because you activate the muscles, and it's also good because you strengthen yourself, and this will have less injury risk.
At this point, I had everything I needed to achieve my full split, and now it was only a matter of time.
Good exercise.
And as the days went by, my split was getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And then on day 29, this happened.
Yes, so he has something slippery, and I always recommend to have something slippery under your feet.
I actually got my splits in 29 days of stretching.
That's
couldn't
crazy
believe myself.
progress.
Alright, I just want to say a few quick things. First things first, I did it! Let's go! When I first started this challenge, I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But as you can see, the proof is right here. In 4K, baby! Actually, it's only in 1080p. I'm not rich. Alright, jokes aside, I actually do have a few things that I want to say. First things first, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just because someone can get their splits in a week or a month doesn't mean that you should have to be able to as well. Everybody's bodies are different and you're just gonna have to work at your own pace. As long as you get there in the end, who cares, right? Alright, next up, do not push yourself too hard. There's a difference between discomfort and pain. Trying to go too far too fast can definitely hurt you and halt your progress.
Yes, I always say edge of enjoyment. So you have to feel a little bit discomfort, but don't work with pain.
So know your limits and stay within it. That's like the lottery thing, right? And lastly, throughout the video, you may have noticed that I've been saying 30 days of stretching instead of just 30 days. And that is because this challenge actually took longer than 30 days, but I have a good reason for that. So every couple days, I gave myself a rest day to let my muscles heal and relax. And I really do think that this helped me overall.
Yeah, it's good. Like for me, I like to do 2 days, 1 day rest, 3 days, 1 day rest. So I have basically 5 sessions a week, and this is a good amount for me to recover.
Also, originally I was planning on including the front splits in this video as well, but halfway through I found out that I was using incorrect and potentially dangerous form. So I decided to drop.
The feet on the back has to turn, so your knees doesn't rotate out, and yeah. But this is one I found much easier. I learned this in 1 year, and the other one it took me 2 whole years to learn. But here, yeah, rotate the feet.
Drop it. But maybe I can save it for another day. Who knows? And that is my journey to achieving the full middle splits.